How to play the Man in the Fields game. For this game, you're only going to need yourself and no one else. But there are some additional requirements before you start. Firstly, you'll need a house with a backyard. And this house should at least have one room with only one door. This room should be empty and the door should have a lock to it. To go along with that, you'll need some source of illumination that's not electric, like a candle or a lantern. And finally, you'll need a crucifix and an analog watch or clock. Now, to start. You'll have to start after sunset but before midnight. The exact time has different implications on the reward, and I'll get to that at the end of the video. Now make sure there's no one in the house or anywhere near your backyard. Now you'll have to grab your trusty crucifix, light your candle or whatever you got, and then enter the backyard facing the house. Say the phrase, "But who will scare the crows away?" 7 times. After you do this, you're going to have to listen closely to figure out what you're going to do next. If you hear nothing, the game is completely failed. You'll have to stop whatever you're doing, and you're recommended to leave the premises until the sun comes back up. Probably nothing's going to happen, but better safe than sorry. But if you hear a voice, surprisingly, that's a good thing. And that also means you can proceed. If you hear this voice, he'll most likely say that's not your biggest problem. If you're crazy enough to continue, you'll head back into your house and close the door behind you. But while you're going, do not look behind you. Now here's the fun part, I guess. Go to that room that I previously talked about that has only one room and is completely empty. Now make sure anything that can be opened is closed. So windows, doors, boxes, bags, anything like that, close it. After you do all this, this is now your safe room. Leave the crucifix in this room and carry your light source. Now you'll have to exit the room and start the hardest part of this game. Everything in your house that is capable of being opened is opened. Your task is to close everything before midnight. And I mean everything. It can be as big as a door being opened, or it can be as small as like a lunch bag or something. If at any point you see a man in your peripheral vision, just don't look at him. Don't make any sort of eye contact with him, but also there's nothing to fear from him. He's kinda just like a referee, and he's just gonna hang out. So I mean, enjoy the company. Just continue closing everything, because this guy is not the man in the fields. But also, while you are doing all this, you cannot look into the backyard. If you do look, or you even thought you looked, go immediately to your safe room and lock the door. Now pretty much just hope you don't die at this point. You're gonna hear some crazy things outside of that door, and you cannot open it until 6 AM. And finally, once you're positive you closed absolutely everything in the house, you have to go to bed. Do not open your eyes at any point once you're in bed. And if you wake up in the morning, you have won the game. Now in terms of what you've won, it kind of varies a little. If you began 3 hours before midnight, your safety is physical, so you won't get injured or sick for 1 year. If you began 2 hours before midnight, your safety is physical and financial. This again is for 1 year. And finally, if you began 1 hour before midnight, your safety is total. So no matter what you do, you will have no negative consequences whatsoever. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you would actually do it, because I know I'm not. The reward is pretty good, but you might die in the process. So, you know, there is that. But thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time.